My wife and I became missionaries, full-time missionaries, 10 years ago. And God gave us the opportunity to start the Impacting Guatemala network, which is a network of evangelical churches that are committed to be disciples of Christ, to impact the society where they live in. And so that's our mission. And we work specifically with pastors. We know the pastors are like the leaders of the church. They are the influence of the church. And so if they are biblical rooted, they can make a huge impact in the lives of the congregation. That's why we pay a lot of emphasis on working with the pastors.
Well, Oscar, it was a joy to watch you in action last year and to see your heart for ministry, to interact even with one of the pastors for whom you provide kind of a mentoring relationship, Pastor Eddie over there at Macedonia Church. And we believe in you and we believe in what you're doing. Oscar, one of the neat things that we saw while we were on the ground there in Sumpango and the surrounding area was your vision for creating a pastor's training and retreat center. And you brought us up to the land. We even got to move some dirt on the land and haul it up and down hills. That was awesome and fun. But cast for us a little bit of a vision for why is a pastor's training and retreat center necessary? Would you lead us through your thought process there?
In Guatemala, one of the greatest needs among pastors and ministry leaders is taking a day off or vacation. Culturally, church leaders must be present at any church activity, which means they have no time for themselves, their wives, and their children. This causes the physical, emotional, and spiritual deterioration of the leader, and when they fail, their families failed, and the church fails as well. Another need is the need for ongoing training, because leaders are so busy, they don't see the need or don't have the time to continue get trained. Also, training is always costly, and many church leaders do not have always the resources to invest in themselves. The Retreat and Training Center will be a place for leaders to develop their biblical and leadership skills, a place to relax, a place to be with their families. The building will include a multi-purpose area, conference room, swimming pool, and sauna, meeting rooms, and offices. The building will also include 3 apartments and a prayer room. The apartments will be used by pastors and their families for vacation and relaxation. We will also have a dorm for men, a dorm for women, and kitchen. And this is what God has already provided. A piece of land of about 1 acre, a concrete wall around the property for safety, a water well, and the next step is pouring the foundation of the building. The construction of the whole building will consist of 3 phases. Phase 1 is the construction of the first story. Phase 2 is the construction of the second story. First and second story will be used when the whole building will be not completed yet. And phase 3 is the final step of the project. The Retreat and Training Center for Pastors will be used year-round and will be self-sufficient at the time of its operation.
Well, Oscar, that's so exciting. I love seeing that vision again. And I remember really being moved standing there on the grounds, hearing you present that. And our team obviously was too, because here we are. We want to be a part of this. And Oscar, what does it mean for a church to get involved with something like this? How does that impact the ministry and impact what you're trying to do there in Guatemala?
I believe that partnerships is a great way to mobilize resources to expand God's kingdom. And so partnerships are also a sample of what the body of Christ should be. What can the hands do without the direction of the brain? Or what do we know what the brain is thinking without the mouth? And so we need each other. And I believe that by working together, we can accomplish more for the glory of God. And so just joining this project, sending teams down to Guatemala, is a huge encouragement to us. And I appreciate your partnership throughout these years. And I would like to quote King David's prayer in 1 Chronicles 29. And here King David says, "For everything in heaven and earth is yours. Wealth and honor comes from you. You are the ruler of all things. But who am I and who are my people that we should be able to give as generously as this? Everything comes from you, and we have given you only what comes from your hand." So let's remember that we are only stewards of God's resources, that everything we have belongs to God. And just giving generously to others is something that praises God. So thank you for your generosity throughout these years and for becoming involved in this project.